Was Rivka a feminist? That question is, of course, anachronistic. But a close reading of this week's parsha and later parshiot show or reveal that Rivka's marriage to Yitzchak and Rachel and Leah's marriage to Yaakov brought into the family a woman's voice and a woman's role that until then had been absent or largely absent. And that's because of a different structure of the family that existed in Aram Naharaim as contrasted to Canaan. The standard structure in the entire societies in the world was that of a patriarchy, the household being defined by father, son, grandson. However, if we look at how Aram Naharaim and that culture, the norms are described, we see that it is a matriarchy, that the family is defined by children of the mother, because the mother is always known absolutely where the father is not. And even in matriarchal societies, the men held the ultimate power, but women's role, women's voices came more to the fore. Where do we see that? First, in the very description of the household. It says that Rivka ran back, Vataged lebeit ima. She told to her mother's household. Now, Rashi, bothered by that, says that we're talking about literally the house where her mother lived. But of course, Beit Ima is in contrast to Beit Av, which is the household of the father, a patriarchy. Beit Ima is that the household is defined by the mother, a matriarchy. And also we see that Rivka is defined as Bat Betuel ben Milcah, the daughter of Betuel, the son of Milcah, the mother, the grandmother, and not the Ben Nachor. That's when Avram descends from the mountain, which he's described in the verse. However, Avram's servant can't get his head around that, and he describes her as Bat Betuel ben Nachor. This particularly can be seen when they say, let us call the girl and get her input about whether to go with this man. First of all, the people that call her is her mother and her brother on her mother's side, because the father falls out of the picture. His voice doesn't really matter. And here, the woman's voice, even if she was a minor, whether she wants to or not, made the real difference. And that is really a shock and one that had an impact in Jewish practice, as Rashi indicates. And finally, the blessing that is given to Rivka is Achotenu, sister, because again, the emphasis more on lateral with the mother, and At hayi la'alfei rivava v'yirash zar'ech, your seed, not your husband's seed. So by bringing in, within the family, a different culture and different voices, ultimately the character of the family and of the people developed, was expanded, and allowed for more of the woman's voice than otherwise would have been present. Shabbat Shalom.